Welcome back to a very special Fear Fishing Tips, Tricks, and Other Random Thoughts. Tomorrow is bass opener. I have an absolute pile of Daiwa rods and reels to get ready, and I'm going to show you how to spool up and set up your bait casting rods for the upcoming season. Right here I have a 7.4 Tatua bladed jig spinnerbait rod that I'm going to use this year for chatterbaits. I'm going to team that up with Tatua CT 100, fresh out of the package, bladed jig rod, chatterbait rod. Rock the 7.3 gear ratio. Can you see that there? 7.3 gear ratio. High speed reel. The CT casts an absolute mile. And for spinnerbaits and bladed jigs, that's what you need. We're gonna get this on there and we're gonna get to spooling. First thing you wanna do when you're getting your new rod and reel ready, cut off the plastic off your rod. Now we are officially ready to start spooling. Things you're going to need. You're going to need some ultra cheap monofilament backing line. For this setup, I'm going to use 30-pound J-Braid Grand. Let's get to spooling. This monofilament I'm going to use for backing is honestly the cheapest backing you're ever going to find. I paid less than $1 for 700 yards of it. Step one, run your line through your guide, your monofilament. Make sure you go through the eye of your reel. Down below, there's no shortcut to doing this. I like to poke it right through the bottom of the reel and back up through. And all I'm going to do here is tie a granny knot. Get that situated right in the middle of the reel where there's a little notch cut out for your knot. Get it right in the middle and trim your tag absolute as close as you can get. And start reeling her on. Nice and tight. Now I'm using this as a bladed jig rod, so I'm not going to overload the backing. All I want there is something for my J-braid to dig into so it doesn't slide on the reel. It's a little bit of backing. Cut your mono. A spool like this is going to do 20, maybe 30 different reels when it comes to backing. Sorry about all the wind. It's absolutely horrendous. Crazy wind out there today. Better fix that. Talked about this before. J-Braid Grand. We're gonna tie double uni. I've done that lots of times in videos, so we won't show you. 1, 2, 3, 2. Pull it together. Trim your tags as possible as you can get them. Thing about the backing knot, you want to try to keep the knot as small as possible. You're never going to see this knot till the next time you re-spool your line. We got our double uni knot, and now fill our spool full of our braided line. 30-pound is what I like to use for spinner baits, anything that I'm going to cast around cover. 30-pound going to cast a lot farther than 50-pound, but it's not going, it's enough to haul fish out of cover as well. So we're gonna fill this up. Make sure when you're spooling your reel, you got constant pressure on it so that it goes on evenly. And you're gonna want to fill your spool to capacity. Brand new chatterbait, half-ounce chatterbait is what I like to use in white or white and chartreuse. Now our new bait casting rod and reel are spooled up. Let's show you how to set it up. All right, hopefully you guys are gonna be able to see. The best place to practice when you first get your first bait casting rod and reel is in your front or backyard. Reel comes out of the box, let down, and it backlashes. The way to fix this is to tighten on the side your spool tightener until your chatterbait doesn't move. Then you're going to loosen it off until it free spools, but when it hits the ground, it doesn't backlash. On the other side is your magnetic brake. I'm gonna start those around 10, no backlash, no backlash. You can cast it, no backlash. That is a great way to set up your reel if you're just learning to cast it. Remember, tighten the spool until it free spools, but when it hits the ground, it stops. Your magnetics, just dial them in so that when you cast, you're not getting any backlash. Now, as you start to use your bait caster reel more and more, I like to pretty much run my bait casters with the spool open and my magnetics set to 2. It will backlash now, but all you gotta do is thumb it, and it's a lot easier to make short casts without a lot of effort. So that's the goods on how to set up your bait casting rod and reel. Tomorrow's supposed to be crazy windy, so be safe out there. Have fun fishing. I hope you catch a bunch of bass. Tomorrow it doesn't open in your area. I'm sorry you have to wait an extra week and get to it next weekend. I'm gonna get the rest of my Daiwa rods and reels ready, and we'll see you tomorrow on the water.